So guys, in this section, we will discuss about delegation. So what is delegation? It is an Active Directory feature that allows domain administrators to grant users to control a portion of Active Directory environment. So by default, administrator will control the complete Active Directory. With the help of delegation, what we can do, we can allow some other administrator, junior administrators to use or control a portion of Active Directory environment. For example, in our organization, we have three administrators, Bill, Satya, and Jeff. And the domain administrator can allow Bill to manage the finance OU. So Bill can manage only this finance OU, and Satya can manage sales OU, and Jeff, we can allow Jeff to manage the whole domain. So which makes administration decentralized. Previously, the administration was centralized. Centralized means only the administrator was managing the complete domain. Now, what we have done, we have decentralized the administration with the junior engineers. So, which tasks we can delegate to a user? So, users can create, delete, and manage the user accounts, and the users can reset the user password, force password change at next logon, read all the information, create, delete, and manage the groups, modify the membership of a group, manage group policy links, generate the resultant set of policies. Then our requirement is to delegate Bill to control the finance OU. Okay, Bill should control only finance OU. So he can't access the other OUs. So what he can do with finance OU, Bill can create, delete, and manage users, and Bill can create, delete, and manage groups. Then we need to perform this task. So we must perform the below two tasks to make the delegation work successfully. The first task is to delegate the control to a user. Okay, so what you will do, you will go to the OU and we will delegate the control. Let us say Bill can manage, Bill can create, delete, and manage users and groups. So we'll delegate the control to Bill. After that, we need to allow user to access the domain controller. So guys, we have delegated the control to users. So to manage this finance OU and sales OU, user has to log on to domain control. But by default, a normal user can't access the domain controller. So we need to provide the permission, okay, to these users to access the domain controller. So if you are delegating only the control and user is unable to log on to domain controller, which means there is no use of delegation here. So user should access the domain controller as well. So task one will delegate the control to the users. So how to delegate the control? So you will go to Active Directory users and computers. Then you will go to the finance OU. Right click and you will get the first option, delegate control. And here you will select add option. And we need to provide the username which is going to access or control the finance OU. So our requirement is this Bill should control the finance OU. So we will type his name and his name is appearing here. Then we'll click next. And here we will delegate the following tasks. Like our requirement is to delegate this task, create, delete, and manage user accounts, and create, delete, and manage groups also. Okay, so we have selected these two tasks. Then we'll click next. Then we'll click finish. So we have delegated the task here, and we'll try to log on the domain controller with Bill account. We'll get the below error. Bill doesn't have the administrator rights, so you will get this error because Bill doesn't have the administrator rights to access the domain controller. And the error is sign in method you are trying to use isn't allowed. For more information, contact your administrator. So we need to provide the access of this domain controller to the user as well. Then only he can manage the finance for you. So only the administrator can log on to domain controller. Now we will allow Bill to access the domain controller. Okay, so what we will do, we will go to group policy management on domain controller and we will allow Bill to log on locally. Locally in the sense he can log on to DC locally. So these are the steps configuring group policy management to allow Bill to log on locally. So these are the steps. You need to log on to DC as an administrator. Then you will go to server manager. Then we'll go to tools. Then group policy management. Then we'll go to forest. We'll expand forest. When expand domains, then we'll expand ms.com. Under this ms.com, we will expand this option, domain controllers. Okay, you should not select this domain controller policies. You need to expand domain controllers option, then you will get one policy here, domain default domain controller policy. We need to edit this policy, not this. Okay, right click here, then edit. After selecting this edit option, we'll go to computer configuration. We'll expand policies, then we'll expand Windows settings, and then we will expand security settings. Under security settings, we'll expand local policies, then we'll select the user rights assignment. You will get this window, and here you will select this option, allow log on locally. Then you will right click properties, allow log on locally, and here we will add bill. Okay, so bill, then we'll click OK. So we'll select this option here, add users or group. Then you will get this window. You will type the username or browse. You will get this window. Then you will type the user name here. Then we'll click OK. And bill is added here. And then we'll click OK. After that, what we will do, we will log out from the administrator and we'll log in with bill account. Then we will be able to manage this finance for you. So we'll create some users, we'll create some groups here in finance for you. And we'll try to access this sales OU as well. So you will not be allowed with bill user account to access the other OUs. So we'll do the verification. We'll create, delete the users in finance OU and sales OU. So only the finance OU is allowed. Sales OUs will not be allowed.